This presentation is part of key deliverables produced by the Monitoring Evaluation Technical Consultant under the Component 4 of Liberia Women Empowerment Project implemented by the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection and funded by the World Bank. This video has two parts. It showcases how the team of civil servants from Liberian ministries, agencies, and commissions assessed the monitoring and evaluation system of the Ministry of Gender. You will see the tool, how we have chosen it and how we adjusted it to the context in Liberia, what was the process and what are the key findings and recommendations for the system operationalization. The team of the Ministry of Agriculture conducted a similar exercise under the leadership and supervision of the senior M&E officer. Please take note that views expressed here do not reflect the opinion of the government of Liberia nor the World Bank. It belongs solely to the author of this presentation. The consultant wants to extend her gratitude to colleagues from the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, Ministry of Agriculture, Education, Internal Affairs, Police Academy and National Defense, and other ministries for their commitment and professionalism. Special gratitude goes to Honorable Beme Horace Coley, Minister of Gender, Children and Social Protection, for inspiring me to explore innovative approaches to reporting results. The goal of this video is to leave a legacy that supports the government of Liberia efforts to digitize services, official records, and to build a sustainable digital and gender-sensitive learning and knowledge management system for the ministry. What is monitoring and evaluation system? There are many ways to describe M&E system, many useful graphs, charts, and presentations, but we need to put it in simple language because whatever we are discussing, we need to agree on the definition of our topic or subject of our conversation. M&E system is comprised of program or the project, people, policies, and equipment. We need to understand what are we monitoring, what is the change we expect to see, who is monitoring, and how M&E system works, what are the policies and what are the procedures. So we cannot design M&E system in the vacuum. We need to have a project or program results framework. We need to have theory of change and to agree on that one. We need to know who are the people who will be conducting an M&E and who are the partners and actors interested in the project or the program. Of course, people need equipment and technology to work with, and of course, we need policies and procedures. Aside from that, M&E system depends on contextual and technical factors and also on institutional infrastructure and governance. What are the components of the M&E system? One of the most used representation of the M&E system is the one used by the World Bank. So you can see the outer circle represents first 6 components. We are talking about number 1, organizational structures, human capacity, partnership, M&E plan, costed M&E work plan, and then we are discussing about advocacy, communication, and culture. We need also to agree how do we do routine monitoring, surveys and surveillance, what kind of databases we have, who is doing supervision and data auditing, how and when we do evaluation and research, and how do we disseminate and use our findings. In the conference about the national information management systems, several presenters mentioned that it is the most important answer when we are designing information management system to respond to the question, who is going to use data, for which purpose and which decisions? Let us see another presentation of the M&E system here by Monitsa and Kumala, presented in 2018 in the African Evaluation Journal. Here we have, for example, organization planning system and internal operational planning system, internal operational system. We discuss and mention stakeholders and collaboration. Of course, important. For the Ministry of Gender, a suitable tool for M&E system assessment in the African context was most critical. M&E technical consultants utilized the tool developed by FHI 360, originally in 2008, and then improved in 2013, and then polished in 2021. It is validated by the African Evaluation Journal article Diagnosing, Monitoring and Evaluation Capacity in Africa, published in 2018. I hope some of the intelligent and intellectually curious colleagues from the M&E will read this article. This article, they evaluated global M&E system assessment tools, global evaluation agenda, World Bank evaluation capacity development report, monitoring framework for monitoring, evaluation and learning, and United Nations evaluation group evaluation norms and standards. And they have compared strengths and weaknesses of approaches and their adaptation to African context. Additionally, the authors examined tools adapted for Anglophone Africa, including 12 components of an M&E system, the complexity framework, Twendemele gender diagnostic tool tested in South Africa, Uganda, and Benin, and 6 spheres diagnostic tool. And in the end, they have said that M&E assessment tool in Africa must both include a balanced spectrum of technical, institutional, and political perspectives of an M&E system, and it must also build in on understanding of how organizational change takes place. So I hope you have sufficient evidence that Liberia has something unique, innovative, and relevant for its context. It is important to notice that consultants are not magicians, and political will is the key ingredient driving organizational change, and that is visible in Liberia since January 2024. So the tool was developed in response to health-related programs and now made gender transformative by the Liberian team. However, it is important to acknowledge the organization and teams who have originally developed this tool. It is formerly Family Health International, a nonprofit human development organization based in North Carolina, established in 1971, nowadays called FHI 360. 12 domains, or the 12 areas, are the following: human resources capacity and management, monitoring and evaluation plan and standard operating procedures, data collection and management, data safety and security, data systems, data quality assurance, data analysis, use and feedback, learning, evaluation, M&E leadership, M&E system assessment, and budgeting. While most, if not all, domains are applicable to all program projects, some standards will be project or program specific. because each of these areas has certain number of questions, and those questions had to be adjusted to specific programs and to specific institutional context of the Ministry of Gender. Tool is used by institution and should be used by various projects, programs, and implementing partners. And each domain, as I explained, attempts to respond to different standards, both by institution